Welcome to the mayhem. I got sick over Christmas, which is why I haven't been uploading. And I've cleaned a few times since then, but there's been no semblance of regularity in our lives. So now is the time to get our shit together. The type of cleaning I will be doing is not deep cleaning. It's there's no special way, there's no special tool, there's no special technique. We are busting out the old elbow grease and we're gonna get started. So I just want before. So there's all of that garbage. I don't know if I will be getting to decluttering today. I got a new couch cover, so we had to flip the couch, and that's all the garbage from that. And here's the dining room table, because the kitchen is trashed, so you know, it overflows into the dining room. And then there's a naked baby on the floor. And then here is the bathroom. And the bedroom is, we haven't done laundry. That's a task for tomorrow, because we don't have a washer dryer. That's all clean clothes. Bed's unmade. And I already had to carpet cleaned this morning because my son Ryder got mad at his cereal, so he dumped it on the floor in the living room. So milk on carpet, that's a that's a good one. So we already busted out the carpet cleaner once this morning. It is currently 10 o'clock. Yeah, like I said, the only thing that's gonna fix this pile of dumpster fire is elbow grease. So let's get started. Welcome. So I start here in my PJs, and it's to the point of where I am so overwhelmed, I don't know where to start. So I just start literally picking stuff up and setting it down. Oh, by the way, I'm recording this in the middle of filming because Ranger went down for a nap, and I always utilize the, if one of the boys is down, I utilize that as my resting period. Just because if they're resting, I deem it fair that I get to rest as well. So anyways, there's a lot of new toys that don't have homes right now. And so I was just picking stuff up and setting it down. And that's when I realized that I needed to put my boobs into four-wheel drive. I didn't have a bra on and it was uncomfortable. So I went into the bedroom to just get my boobs, like I said, in four-wheel drive, put a bra on, and it was hot, so I popped some shorts on to really prepare myself for deep cleaning. I love watching Jer. He's just so cute, and he's crawling now, which is double-edged sword. See, look at him, little scoot. He sucks at crawling. He's already getting close to standing, though. The, transition is going to be short. I know it. He is 10 plus months now, which is crazy. I can't believe it. And then, Ryder was right before his first birthday is when he started walking. So, that's what I'm anticipating. Okay, now we're back. And so this, the bag in my hand had dirty clothes in it from the kids' venture out to the Quinn Ranch. my lovely mother and father-in-law on my husband's side, my husband's dad, because his parents separated. So the Quinn Ranch, they took all the kids, all three of my kids, and then all their two boys, and they did the New Year's thing. They do it every year, and it's lovely because it's the one, what's it called, holiday where I never have the kids. They've always taken the kids for New Year's, and it's such a blessing. And they do their own kids' New Year, so they have a bunch of fun, and they get to connect with each other. So anyways, that bag that had their dirty clothes in it, I dumped it out in the dirty clothes pile, and then I'm carrying it around with me as a garbage can. I'm literally just carrying it around with me. This is a good technique to focus your energy. Oh, and I got a new bag for donations. That's what that was. Because, yes, we will be getting rid of a bunch of crap. But holding a trash can is great because when your living area is as trashed as it is right now, you want to think about efficiency. So, oh, Ryder needed a butt change. Alright, sorry, I just had to cut that clip out. Don't want to be showing no penises on here. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, efficiency. Having... Yeah, you did have a big poo-poo. Efficiency is paramount when you... in everyday life. So... Another thing about efficiency is my toddler is capable of putting dirty dishes in the sink now, which woohoo, when and anytime I include him in my cleaning, he behaves better. If I ignore him, then he gets all mad and starts, can you go chop chop? Go make me something in your kitchen. I don't want you on the chair. Go on. No. Crap, lost my train of thought. Oh, so just like that, if I'm ignoring him, he pesters me for attention, which is perfectly appropriate for his current age. So anytime I can give him a task, he feels like he is helping. So, yeah, that's, give your kids some credit. Kids, even this age, they want to work. It's just in blood. It's in our blood. We want to work. We want a job. It gives you a little bit of dopamine anytime you can achieve a task, no matter how small. So he helps me with trash and dishes, and it makes him happy. Also, what I have started doing is I do not turn on the electronic device that has shows on it. I can't say the word, otherwise my son will come at me and ask for it. But because I had a sickness, I have been slacking in the parenting department, which is totally understandable. I'm not dogging on myself, but the TV, oh gosh, I said it, has been the babysitter, which, you know, it is what it is. But we do have addiction in our blood, and he has been showing some signs and tendencies of addiction to that. So, the less is, it's crazy how much difference I see in his behavior when we do not turn it on and he is forced to play. It's way better for his development. It's way better for his it's just way better. So the TV, yes, it's nice, but if avoidable, avoid it. And that's me on my soapbox. And then I'm putting my crochet away. My crocheting is very imperative to my mental health. It is a hobby I picked up after drinking. Oh, bye, poinsettias. Those were the red ones. The white ones are still going strong. But having a hobby when you make a dramatic life change, such as quitting drinking, is paramount. I did not realize until I went on the journey to become sober that I literally didn't have a single hobby. My hobbies were drinking and drinking. It's funny now, but it's kind of sad. But and so that's why you saw me putting away my crocheting. I keep it out. It doesn't fit in there, honey. You have to take it off of the board. Yeah, put it on a plate. So I keep, even though keeping the crocheting out is like a work hazard, because the toddler and the baby like to pull on the string and undo my project, it is more important for me to be having it be within, I literally just sit in my chair and it's on the other side of my chair, so that anytime I am able to bust out a few stitches, it brings me joy. So that's just a little tidbit there. And yeah, hobbies are super important. My parents, when I was growing up, they were so supportive. They tried to get me into so many different hobbies, and I just didn't have the mental health to really understand the significance of hobbies. Now that I'm sober, I totally get it, and I am so grateful they gave me every opportunity. I'm sad that it took me, 20, how old am I? I'm 28. I got sober around 25. So it took 20 years for me to realize that hobbies are actually important. And then today is a day for Big Bertha. There is so many crumbs on the floor. Literally, before I was cleaning, it was, I had anxiety about setting my baby down on the floor. That's how bad and filthy the floor was that there was so many choking hazards, and it was just like crumb city. So today is a day for Big Bertha. Our lovely stick vacuum is not gonna cut it today. And of course, get everything off the ground that you can. And if you saw me wrap up the cord, that is an old habit from housekeeping. So you see, I wrapped it around, and then when you have a large house, you can unwind it as you go. And but my house is tiny, so it's more about just keeping it out of the way. Let's see here. And I'm repeatedly going over the same areas. Yes, Ryder, thank you. And if the pile next to the slider that I showed in the beginning of this clip, and I said that we had to flip the couch, there was another one of those on the other side of the couch, so that's why I am being crazy over there, because it was a lot. I haven't cleaned under the couch in months, and I knew it needed to be done, but it's just one of those things where the energy wasn't there, the motivation wasn't there, and so we just never did it. And I was like, that's a time for another problem. And then I was like super excited about this couch cover, and I was like, I should be deep cleaning the couch before they put this cover on. Am I doing that now? No?
Mommy, I'm not doing.
Alright, now we're back. I had to put Ryder down for a nap. Miracle! Both boys are sleeping at the same time. Oh geez, the stars must be aligned. Let's see here. So I vacuumed, and now I'm putting stuff on the floor that I had picked up to... Oh, there's a sneeze. Yeah, I'm just putting everything back on the ground that's supposed to be on the ground. With the blankets, this is one of those things that if someone's coming over to your house and it's a mess, if you fold your blankets, it makes your living area look 20% cleaner. And it takes like 2 seconds. So just keep that in mind if you're ever like rushing to accommodate guests. Just throw the blankets literally anywhere. I'm folding them and putting them up on my lovely blanket ladder. One of the most simple gifts ever. My father-in-law, the same one that took the kids for New Year's, made it for me for last Christmas. And it's just some wood, and it's stained, like wood stained. And it's just, I use it literally every day. It's one of the best gifts. You know those gifts that are just like, I needed this. That was one of them. Oh, yeah. And then I play with the tripod. So my sister, oh my gosh, God bless her. She is amazing. She got me a new tripod. And so I'm fiddle farting with it here because one of the issues I had prior to this new tripod was it took me so long to set up because I just had a little tiny tripod and one of the ones with the bendy arms, but it's short. So like you always have to prop it on something or set it on something. And this one I am able to, sorry about that face. Those were my inside emotions. Yeah, that's the under the couch mess. But one of the things was that I feel so much more efficient while filming with this new tripod because I can just move the whole tripod and it's at the level I need it to be. It's not, yeah, it's just great. I can't rave enough about it, and it brought me to tears when I opened it. She was like, well, it's just her way of supporting me and in my hobbies. And, you know, via 10 seconds ago, how important hobbies are. So what I'm doing here is I do this a lot. It's another efficiency thing where I might just scoop everything together and then go through it like this on a little bit of a different, a finer tooth comb. So that box is toys, and then this bag is garbage. And I'm just trying to get it to a point of where I can vacuum up these crumbs. Because I'm not kidding, it's a literal pile. It's like half a box of cereal worth of crumbs. It's insane. And then it was hot, so I opened the door. Isn't my slider just amazing? If it weren't for these sliders, I don't think that I would have tolerated living in this apartment as long as I have. Just because of so much natural light. I don't feel like I'm in an apartment. I feel like I'm in a home. And I don't know. I know it's dumb, but count your blessings. And this is definitely one of my blessings. Is this wonderful access to the outside being inside, and it allows me to have all my stupid plants that I love so much. It brings me so much joy. Another hobby that I picked up after drinking. I used to only have 1 or 2 plants and I sucked at keeping them alive, and now I have like 7, all different species. Love every single one of them. And you bet your darn booty when we move and have more space, I will fill it with green crap. So that I was just getting the big pieces, and there was like a little a cluster in the vacuum, so I just shoved it down into the big canister area. Yeah, so I use the hose to get the gigantic crumbs, and then I'm just going over everything with the brush roller off. That is very imperative when you are vacuuming on a hard surface, because if you vacuum with the brush on, It will be counterproductive. It will fling crap everywhere. Yeah, and that pile from the giant pile was clothes, so I just went to throw that in my dirty clothes pile, and then, see, look at that. That transition was beautiful. I am in love with this new tripod. It is, chef's kiss. And then more just, picking up toys, and this area gets neglected quite a bit. It just is a catch-all, like, unintentional catch-all. It's right next to the chair, and so this is where my where I keep my crocheting. So it kept getting caught on a bunch of garbage, literal garbage and figurative garbage. So I was like, I really wanted, I know I said it wasn't doing deep clean, but this was one of those things that I don't really consider it deep cleaning. It's more like trying to get our living area into some semblance of normality. Again, vacuuming with the brush off. And mom hack, if the toys are small enough to get sucked into the vacuum, they're a choking hazard, so they deserve to be thrown away anyways. Oh, and it was so nice that that dog bone just reminded me. Over Christmas, Jameson was gifted a bunch of new dog toys, so and there's me realizing that some things were not sucking up. Whoopsies! And that he got so many new dog toys, I literally went and threw away every single one of his old ones. He's got a fresh batch of new toys. How fantastic is that? It's a great feeling. It's like the same feeling of when you get new socks and you do that with socks. I'm weird about socks. I have to, I have manic depression with OCD-like tendencies. So one of my OCD things is socks. I don't know where it was derived from, but I can't wear unmatching socks, which is really weird because in high school I used to intentionally wear unmatching socks, but I cannot wear unmatching socks. They cannot be, like, even if you can tell that one sock is old and one sock is new, even though they're supposed to be a pair, that bothers me too much, and I have to find one that is the same amount of crustiness. So what I have taken to is buying my socks at Costco, and when I get a new set of socks, I literally throw all of them away. Same with the boys, same with Conrad. It's one of those things that I didn't realize brought anxiety to my life, and it's like, they're socks. They're just socks. Nobody even sees them. But for some reason, my mind is like, it's just weird about it. So typically, this is not how I would clean the order I would clean my house in, but because it is the way it is, and because I intended on filming, I am doing the dining room next, and I actually liked the flow this provided, because when I have my dining room table clean, when there's no dishes on it, it gives me so much mental clarity. It's just like, maybe, I don't know, when I first moved out of my house, of my parents' house, I didn't realize the amount of actual work it costs to have a clean dining room table, because it is a catch-all. You walk in the door, and whatever's in your hand, where are you going to set it? Dining room table. And when I was growing up, my parents always had a tidy dining room table. There was nothing ever on it. So when I first moved out, we had a huge dining room table. It seated a It seated 8 comfortably and 10 squished. So, like, it was huge. And it would literally be piles, like literal piles on it. And so, with my progression in my mental health journey, I just prioritize keeping crap off of the table. And it is literally a task that has to be tended to daily, like possibly multiple times a day. And it's one of those things that you don't realize is really important. And a lot of that has come to light recently with, you know, just with my life changing, with having the kids, and realizing how much work my mom did, and how much both my parents, how much effort goes into having a tidy house. Like, it's a goal of mine. I know that, like, the season of life I'm in, it's not really applicable to have a tidy house. But when my mom was sporting my sister and I, who are 3 years apart, which is, you know, my boys are 18 months apart. But so she had a toddler and she had a baby at the same time, just like I did. And I don't remember the house ever being, like, in pictures, like just day-to-day pictures. It was always tidy. Oh, and I needed this clip cracks me up. I needed a washcloth and or a rag, and I have looked in the past and couldn't find one, and was literally using a kitchen towel as a rag, and it only took me like less than 2 minutes to find it. I was prepared to go through all the laundry to find the last one, because I knew there was one in there, and it only took me like 2 minutes. I took my tripod and everything. So now that the table is clearing up, I'm going to light my candle. And something I learned is that with these Bath and Body Works candles, or any specialty candle, you are supposed to cut the wicks every single time you light them. And that just prevents the flame from getting too tall and burning through your wax faster than it needs to. So it's just a little tip for you to conserve your bougie candles. Yeah, and when your area feels more clean, it is mentally clarifying. It's fantastic. And then if you notice, there's no tablecloth. So I have almost all of my Christmas decorations taken down. The last things left are the snowflakes on the slider and the white poinsettia. And that's it. The rest of Christmas is gone out of my house, and I'm pretty proud of that. Just because I'm trying to get into, you know, being a better house homekeeper. And I used to leave decorations up, like, sometimes they would last all year. And it's like, it takes away from the specialness that is Christmas if it's just like, oh, well, you just leave them laying around. No, you put them away, and then you put them back, and yeah, whatever. It makes sense in my brain. I had to film this because I hate filling the dog food. I hate it. It stinks. I think when I was pregnant, the dog food just, like, permanently is burned into my brain. It made me nauseous so many times in my pregnancy. So I had to get credit for it, so I filmed it. YouTuber logic. And then dishes. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about the dishes. So you can just watch me and my fat butt. Look at that butt. It's actually a lot smaller than it has been, so pretty happy about that. Yeah, you can just watch me put the dishes in the dishwasher, and I'm gonna go drink the rest of my coffee.
Good job, get down. Good job, get back up there. Good job. Okay, do it again. Again. Yes, get down again. Yummy. Sink soup.
So we're just popping, pop, lock, and drop it. No, we're just popping some dish pot in there, and that completed that. So now I am just tidying up the bathroom. I did not do a full clean. It's kind of the running theme of this video. I just wanted to get things back to normal, you know. And one of the things I've been putting off is this carpet. So it sits right in front of our toilet and our bathtub. So it gets kind of crusty, musty, busty, yucky. So, I am just gonna wash that real quick. This voice recording is, the day after, and the dang rug is still hanging up in front of the heater, still drying. That's why I don't do it very often. But it's just one of those things that, you know, it has to be done. And this is what I mean when I say that I utilize my bathroom as my utility room also. Any sort of clothes washing, or like I wash my garbage can in here, and so yeah, every area of my house is multifunction. And for Christmas, the boys got a toy holder for their bath toys. So I'm repurposing this basket here that used to house their bath toys. So that frog in the sink now houses their bath toys. So I'm utilizing this basket right now. I think it's just it just has a bunch of fragrance crap in it. And I don't know if those are scents that I will be wanting to hold on to, or if I'm just going to donate them, or I don't have a plan for them yet, because we got a lot of stuff for Christmas that was scent oriented. I am honestly, I'm a simple girl. I use like deodorant as my my main scent. So like I still have lotion from before. I'm pretty sure I have lotion from before. Oh, I think I got rid of those. But I have lotion from like the beginning of my relationship with Conrad, which was 8 years ago. Oh, and here's me struggling with this packaging. Yeah, just trying to get everything in its place, because you know, the Christmas, this is post-Christmas. I was still putting crap away from that. Someone got him a gift with that bag, and that bag was $5 just for the dang bag, not even the gift. Oh, it was very kind of them. And now I have to figure out what to do with it. That's my minimalist brain. Or at least, I'm an attempted minimalist. Yeah, I'm always just working towards it. And then I'm taking this opportunity to wash out my Q-tip container. Because it's empty. And that's one of the things about decanting that is a little bit frustrating, is that anytime it's empty, you want to clean it, because especially these dang acrylic containers. I got these from the dollar store. I don't know if it would be a repurchase. I mean, I love having Q-tips and cotton pads accessible, just like readily accessible. I don't know if I would repurchase the acrylic, but in our space right here, it kind of has to be neutral, so they work for what I need. I struggled with this way too long. I don't understand why it took me so long to get these dang Q-tips in here, but it did. Oh, and also, my husband has brought it to my attention that when I am reading or watching YouTube or doing something on my phone or whatever, I make the ugliest face ever, and I look pissed off and probably 20 pounds heavier than I actually am, because that's just, it's my ugly face. It's because I need glasses is what it is. And I just can't see. I know you didn't say I was ugly. I was just saying you brought it to my attention that I have a face that I make, and and I see it on camera, and it's not pleasant. Anyways, so under my sink is some of the only, what do you call it? Bathroom surplus storage that I have. So that thing is jam-packed. When, I was pretty fresh in my relationship with my husband, he was in an accident, and so a lot of times we didn't have a steady income, where we were waiting for the transition from his work to workers' comp. So I picked up the habit of purchasing in bulk from Costco. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because we do save money, but our current living situation, 5 people in a 2-bedroom apartment, it doesn't allow for a lot of storage. So every single space in this dang place is utilized, and that's why I always say you gotta have multiple purposes for individual items. And right here I'm just scrubbing my that carpet, because I really wanted to get it clean, because I don't want to do this again soon. So I am just, that scrubber is from the dollar store. It does not take a lot of money to be clean and tidy, and organized to an extent. But the good old elbow grease is what came in clutch here. And it's so funny, because I let this soak, but you can literally watch as the water gets dirtier as I'm scrubbing. Like, soaking was not going to be sufficient. And then I think it was being slow draining. So I was just looking for hair. Oh my gosh, the other day, Ranger was taking a bath. No, it was a shower. And by shower, I mean he was in the bottom of the tub, and the shower head was down on low, and he was just playing in the water. And he reached his little itty-bitty baby fingers down in the drain and pulled out the biggest wad of my hair. I was disturbed and disgusted. I immediately flung it backwards and was just like, no! So it's on my checklist. I need to pour Drano in this drain. And that's another thing that I had to learn about independent living, I guess I should call it. Not necessarily independent living, it's just that I am, as Lily's brain game put it, I am a home manager. I am in charge of the house. Nobody else is taking care of anything. I am the one that keeps track of maintenance and all that. And one of the things that, in the first, so let's see here, our first apartment that my husband and I had together, we were in for 2 years. So we really didn't have to do a whole lot of maintenance. The second place, we only lived a year. Again, there was like no maintenance on that place. And in the house that we are currently in, we're coming up on year 3. So one of the things that we need to maintain is your drains. It is completely and utterly necessary to run Drano through your drains. I think twice a year, well, for us at least, it's about twice a year. My husband has a lot of chest hair. I have long hair. It's just the facts of life. So, but yeah, that's just something that, you know, they don't teach you in high school that they probably should, that, you know, that it's just one of those things, like balancing a checkbook. Anyways, so this was one of my last steps, in the bathroom. Just, it seems you always want to do the floors last, because then you can knock everything down onto the floor, and you don't have to vacuum twice. I prefer my stick vacuum for my hard floors, 100%. The bristles on the brush are softer, so I think it creates better suction, and it seems like it does a lot better job, especially with like fine dust. And then, since we're being completely transparent about the struggle, I am loading up the laundry. We do not, I wasn't anticipating going to the laundromat or anything. It was just one of those things where, oh, I know exactly what knocked me off to do it. So in front of my bedroom door, you've probably seen it a million times, I tend to have an ongoing dirty laundry pile. And then anytime I go into my bedroom, I try and put it into the dirty laundry hamper. However, our dirty laundry hamper, look, 5 people, and we don't have a washer and dryer in unit. And because of the illness that I picked up over Christmas, this is week 2 of no laundry. So, just give me some grace. Nobody's perfect. So that was completely full, and there was still a pile in our hallway is what I call it, but it is, you know, it's only a stretch of 3 feet, if you can call that a hallway. There's not actually any hallway action going on. So as it stands, we have 3 laundry bags, and typically I only end up filling 2, 2.5, 3 on a bad day, but this was full on. All 3 bags were stuffed, and additionally, as soon as my husband brought the laundry home, there was already stuff in the hamper. So, we're looking for a new place right now. I mean, we have been, but it's finally, we're seeing the housing market drop. So we're actually seeing viable rentals. Yeah, see, there's the pile. There's the extra pile. After all that laundry in the hamper, there's all this garbage too. But the housing market is, oh my gosh, it's I wouldn't say it's plummeting, but rentals are going back to reasonable prices. So the place that we're in right now, we moved in 2020. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic. Like, we literally didn't know if they were going to allow us to move in, because it was right when they were shutting everything down. It was like full pandemic. And when we first moved in, it was $875 for this place, with water, sewer, garbage included. Every year since, it's gone up. Hey Conrad, how much do we pay for rent? Conrad,
What?
how much do we pay for rent?
What?
How much is rent?
Here?
Yeah.
1,050?
So we're paying $1,050, but if you check out the listing for new tenants, I believe they're going for $1,200. For the exact, like, I think there's 12 units, or maybe there's 24. I don't know. I can't know. But yeah. So all the new units are going for that much, and we're paying $1,050. I thought we paid $1,100, but I'm glad. I'm happy we don't. So that just puts that into perspective. So that something that with a normal increase in rent that should be $1,050 is going for $1,100 or $1,200. It just, they really changed the pricing because our complex actually does 6 months lease, 6 month leases. So that just kind of gives you an idea of like the type of housing we're in. This 100% was supposed to be temporary until we could, you know, start saving up for a down payment. And, you know, life just got in the way, so that didn't happen. No big deal. Oh, this was the first fall. Compliments of Jameson. I'm glad I noticed it. But, oh, back to the housing. So, going from $875 for a 2-bedroom, we were a normal jump for a couple in our season of life. The next step would be like $1,200, and that was the new price of what we were currently in. So it's just weird. And so because I stay at home and we don't have a second income, we solely are based off of my husband's income right now. So we really got to watch our finances. We don't have any debt. We have worked really hard at that, even with all of the inconsistent income we've had, because I don't know if I explained it. He was in a huge work accident, so we've had to deal with lapses in what's it called, workers' comp, and getting paid from his company versus workers' comp versus, and I don't think people realize that it takes over a month for someone to transition from regular income to workers' comp. So I don't know if you know, in a month period, bills are due. So we thank the Lord we have had help with our family. Conrad's mother, she's currently an empty nester and works she's worked 100 hours in a week before. And so her and her mother, my grandmother-in-law, have been really, we've been really blessed to have them in our lives, and they've lent us money, and we've managed to stay debt-free. So woohoo! And this is, so we transitioned into decluttering. I wasn't sure if we were gonna make it to that on this day, but we did. So this toy box is from Lily's room, and that's where I was keeping the bigger toys because of Christmas, because we needed an area for the tree. So this ended up temporarily being stored in Lily's room. And now that Christmas is over, I wanted to get all the toys back together so that we could just, the way I like to declutter is I allot, I think that's the right word. I allot, a place, or, you know, like how many hangers you have is how many shirts you can have. And so for this, if it doesn't fit in the toy box, then it has to, what's the word? The situation has to be reevaluated. And you see me do that quite a bit towards the end, where the toy box wasn't closing. So I just kept opening it back up and looking at stuff that we really don't need. And if you think about it, I am not Scrooge or anything. I actually looked it up, and for someone Ryder's age, an appropriate amount of toys is like, I think it's like 20. It's been a while since I've checked, but 20 toys, like all included. Like that's all that they really need. Anything more gets overwhelming. So what I've done, because I had these other toy storage containers, is the majority of the toys go in the toy box, and then I think I was originally using, yeah, the small square was originally for Rangers toys, and the bigger one I was putting pretend play and puzzles and like activities that are like, if you play with this you get all of it out at once type deal, like the Magnetiles and the toy train, and so that was going in there. But one of the things that it irks me, my son Ryder, do you see the pirate ship right there on top? It is the most obnoxiously sized item. It is so hard to store, and it gets kicked around, but he plays with it. So it's like, I can't get rid of it. It's so funny. That thing is by Fisher-Price, but we end up using the Bluey toys, like the Bluey figurines. It's the perfect size for them. So my son is obsessed with pirates, so he loves Bluey, so he plays Pirate Bluey. Even though that's not what it was intended for, that's what we've adopted. And it's so crazy watching him pretend play. So he is officially 2.5. Oh, see there, I'm contemplating life, like, what else can I get rid of? All this garbage. But yeah, he is officially 2.5. Or wait, no, his birthday's in July. So at the end of the month, he will be 2.5. And in those 2.5 years, his little brain has developed so much that he just, it is one of the many joys of motherhood that someone might explain it to you, but you don't really appreciate it until you get to experience it. Like, that dude was grown in my body. Like, that was in me. And if he is he has an entire universe in that little brain of his. And it's just, we're spoiled. That's what it is. God spoiled us. Or my mother and I, we call them, they're our little freaking miracles. I mean, her and I say a different word, but they really are miracles. There's no other way to explain it. And he's so much fun, but he is such a pain right now. He's in his whine phase. He doesn't want to eat anything unless it's on the pre-approved list, and even the pre-approved list changes, and he's just whiny, and he wants mom, and he doesn't go to bed by himself. We're still struggling with bedtime, because this is how I look at it. With this point in my life, it's really unfortunate, but we are waiting on a bunch of ifs. So that's why I'm so happy with this the housing going back to normal, because these 3-bedroom, 1-bath houses that I was originally looking at in the valley were $2,000 a month. And now we're seeing prices more along the lines of $1,700 and $1,500. And if we really wanted to, if we were really able, diaper change, I'll be right back. So, if we were really wanting to remain on the north side, I've even seen 3 bedrooms for like $1,395, which, like I said, 6 months ago, 6 months plus, that was unheard of, even on the north side where the neighborhood's not as nice. So the fact that it's coming down, and I live in the inland northwest, so it is there is a moving season, because it sucks to move in the winter. It sucks big time. So come spring, we're going to see a lot more rentals. So I'm just excited to see if we can find something. So it's day 2, and my husband he had the day off. He just got back with all of the clean laundry, but I need to do a quick vacuum because, 1, my life is disgusting, and 2, I've been rearranging some plants and stuff because we're contemplating rearranging. Who knows if that's actually going to happen, because I don't know. So when I was rearranging my plants, the red poinsettia, which was crusty busty, dropped some leaves. They crumbled into glitter. So now I'm just going to do a quick vacuum, and then we're going to head to the bedroom and work on that. So anyways, it's really, my children are at a very, well, I guess I'm not, well, Lily, my eldest, she's at a very malleable point in her life. And they say that once your kid hits puberty, there's something in their brains that click, and it's like a scientific thing that they just stop listening to their parents as nothing but the truth. Their brains get programmed to think that their parents don't know anything, and that's a part of the rebellious teenager stage. So they actually, as a teenager, oh, I dropped the camera. Who dropped the camera? The dog moved the chair and it dropped the camera. Anyways, so at this point in her life, she stops hearing the truth from us, or what she perceives as the truth, and she starts taking what other people say as truth, like more truth than what her parents say. So it's really important for us to get her into a better school district. She's not in the best school district right now, but in the valley they have a really nice district. So that's our goal. Her mom is already out there, so it would just be us joining them, and that's what we need. So this is something unique that I don't think I've ever experienced to this extent before. I think it's because there's 4 of us in this bedroom, and it's so it's winter, so we've had the window closed, and the blinds drawn because the neighbors behind us have a motion detection light. So every time it comes on, it shines right into our bedroom. And because of all the condensation from all of us breathing in there, all that was mold. There was a bunch of mold on the window. So I sprayed my trusty Dawn Power Wash. And the thing about that situation and that type of cleaning is it is 100% bacteria. And the good thing about the Dawn Power Wash, is it has alcohol in it, so it disinfects. But they say that you have to leave disinfectant on a surface. I believe it's a pretty long time. I think it's like 5 to 10 minutes for it to actually sanitize, for it to actually kill the bacteria. So that's what I did. I sprayed it on there, and then I wiped it off later. And in this shot, I am gathering all of the clean laundry, and I put it on the bed, and then we are sorting it. So I have a bucket for myself, a bucket for my husband, a bucket for socks. I used the laundry basket for the boys, and Ryder's bed was for the linens. And my goodness, his bed was completely full by the end of this. We have never been so far behind on laundry. But that's just what happens with life, especially with littles and you know, the sicknesses and all that. And when I was sick, one of the ways my husband allowed me to relax was he informed me that we would be catching up on laundry. So because of the whole situation with not having laundry in unit, laundry is the worst chore in our home. It is just, neither one of us enjoys it. Neither of us wants to do it. And so it's just one of those tasks that, you know, you have to wear clothes. And so when I was sick, he told me that, he said, wife, you need to not think about this. You need to not be worried about it. You need to rest. And so I did. And I probably got better a lot faster because instead of trying to keep up with the housework, he just encouraged me to sleep. Because I have this love-hate relationship with sleep. I love sleep. I hate what it does to my life. Like, oversleeping is my, oversleeping and overindulging in drinking are my two biggest weaknesses in life. So, with drinking, I just cut it out. You can't cut sleep out of your life. That's a necessity. So I really do. I lean on my husband to help me understand when my body needs rest and when I'm in a low and I need to get my butt out of bed. Because it's a little bit more difficult for me to see the line where that is. And even though he is not present in the entirety of the folding of the laundry, he is present in the, what am I trying to say? He is present in the effort of doing laundry. Because when you have two small children, and I am mama, you know, they are at that age where sometimes they don't want anyone but mama. And that's just where we're at. And I can do this a lot faster than my husband. So he was helping with the boys. And this particular day, I put Ranger down for a nap in our room, and he went sound asleep because he's the easiest baby ever. And then I was feeling really tired because I just didn't get a lot of rest. So I grabbed Ryder, and him and I were going to go and lay on the bed and take a nap with Ranger. Well, Ranger was in his bed, and Ryder and I were going to sleep on my bed while my husband was out at the laundromat. And the second Ryder opened the door, he woke up Ranger. So Ranger had been down for less than an hour. So he woke up Ranger, and then so we weren't able to nap at all. And so everyone was a little bit crankier than normal. So I believe at this point, my husband is off screen trying to put Ranger down. Or I think he was wrestling with him to try and see why he was whining so much. But ultimately, the goal then ended up being to put him down. And he ended up putting him down in the baby cage on the floor in the living room. And the three of us, Ryder, Conrad, and I, were in this room doing laundry because our house is so dang small. That's just what we have to do sometimes. Because if we were to put him down in here, we would not accomplish laundry. And, like, our entire goal for the day, the whole 12 working hours, was to accomplish the laundry. So, yeah, that's what we did. And then I know Ryder is on his tablet a lot, but I have noticed an extreme difference in his behavior when we cut the TV out. I'm not sure if I talked about this already. I'm sorry, I've been talking for over an hour. I see an extreme difference when he plays on his tablet versus watches TV or videos. So I'm trying to help guide him in having a healthy relationship with technology. So I give him pretty unlimited access to his tablet when it's bedtime and, like, it's time to start winding down and such. That's when we turn the tablet off, and that's when we, like, take away juice so he can only have water. We can only read books and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm hoping that that's a good approach. If anyone has any better advice about tablet time, please. I would love all the tips and tricks. Because it's hard. Because, you know, I don't want to deprive them. I want them to grow up with technology so that they are well adapted to society. Because the reality is that technology is a part of our everyday, and it's not going anywhere. So I just want to, encourage him to know how to utilize technology in an appropriate manner. And yeah, I think that's the rest of that tangent. Let's see here. What else can we talk about for those 45 minutes left of this video? Holy cow. This last bit where we were just doing laundry was a lot. And my phone actually died, so I didn't even record all of it. But, I don't even know. It took a long time. My husband got home around oh jeez, what was it? I think it was like noon. It was around noon. And we ended up wrapping up around 6. And so it was just hard. You know? It was just a hard day. Yeah, so in this frame, that's when I went to help him put Ranger down, and then we end up all piling into the bedroom. So I ended up cutting that last shot. I cut that last video clip down because there was another like 20 minutes of just full sorting and folding and all that jazz. But in this clip here, I am actually going through the boys' clothes and yeah, doing the whole rotation thing. So taking stuff out for Ryder, that's too small. And then I am switching Ranger from 9 to 12 to 12 to 18 months. And one of the frustrating things about toddler clothes, one, is that the time reference that they are referencing is inaccurate. It has never been accurate. And two, I have a little porker for a son. He is literally first percentile for height, but his waist is so round that's why we are upgrading his clothes, because he's just a little porker. And then you see my husband over there. He is actually removing the caulking from our window to replace it, because we have one of the most awful drafts. And I just attribute it to the fact that the apartments are, they were built in the 70s, you know, and that's 50 years ago now, which is weird to think about. But, sorry, so yeah, it's just one of those things that has to be done periodically, and that's originally why I ended up cleaning my windowsill. I opened it up and saw all that mold and condensation on the window, so it made sense to me, but it was still like, oh my gosh, we've been subjecting ourselves to this. So, yeah, it's good to think about stuff like that. And then, my husband just doesn't have the attention span that I do. So this was just one of those moments where I needed to focus on the task at hand. And he was contributing to the household in any way that he was able to, which is helpful regardless. So I was not mad about him getting distracted by the window. One of the things that is unfortunate about hand-me-downs is at some point I realized that an entire bag of Ranger, so Ryder hand-me-downs for Ranger, smelt like spoiled milk. And because I breastfed Ryder for so long, I ended up breastfeeding him till 11 months. So it honestly makes sense, because when you breastfeed for that long, you're so used to the smell of spoiled milk that you don't even realize that it's what you're smelling. You don't even smell it. But now that I am not breastfeeding and I opened that up, I was like, it is just permeating in through the entire house. So all of those, a whole bag of clothes for a baby. And I don't know if you know this, an entire trash bag worth of clothes for a baby is a crap ton. It's like 60 plus pieces of clothes. So I just went and washed that. So even though I put away all of these clothes, I still have an entire bag full of baby clothes that need to be put away, which, you know, it's a little disheartening, but it is what it is. And then, I was going through Ryder's clothes because, for Christmas and such, he's been receiving 4T, 5T items, which I'm not complaining about, but I was separating the 3T, and then there was a few 2T that were actually, mixed in, and so I was just, I separated them to see if he had enough 4T plus for a wardrobe, to see if he was ready to, you know, transition out. But because he's the age he is, which is, he's wearing 3T right now, and 3T is difficult because, it's right around the age of potty training. So as soon as he is potty trained and wearing panties instead of diapers, those are going to fit him for another 6 months. So ultimately I decided not to do the transition for him, but I was separating the piles to see, like I said, if he had enough for an entire wardrobe, which he does. But I talked to my husband about it and got his opinion on it, and he's like, no, I think his clothes, they still fit well. They still are, you know, the right length. The sleeves aren't too long. Although his sweatshirts, we have upgraded to the next size up, which is 4T. It's weird because after 3T, it's like 4T, 5Ts are very sparse, and you can't really find a lot of them. But you can, the extra small in boys is like the next size up, which is crazy to think about. And even like an extra small in boys is not really like a definitive size. So it's just, he's in that sizing that's just difficult. And one of the things that I've learned about just me and the way I function is when I ultimately decide to transition the boys into the next size up, I go through the entire wardrobe and I pull everything in that size. It doesn't matter if it still fits or not. It's just, it takes a lot less mental load than it would be for me to go, oh, well, this still fits, but this doesn't. So we're going to get rid of this, but we're going to keep this 4T. And so it's just, that's the way I've opted to do it. It served me well so far. I mean, it's a bummer because some of those, I might keep one or two items if those are like staples and like favorite articles of clothing, and I know for a fact that they still fit. But in general, I just do a full sweep. It just, to me, it's just easier to do it that way. And I am so looking forward to just this whole transition, because in the span of a year, Ranger will have gone through 4 different sizes. Is that right? Because it's newborn. Well, I don't think he was ever in preemie. But he was in newborn for a month, and then 0 to 3, and then 0 to 3, and then 3 to 6, and then 6 to 9, and 9 to 12. So that's 5 different sizes. So in the span of a year, Ranger will have gone through 5 different wardrobes. And so moving forward, for hand-me-downs, there will only be, let's see here, so 4T, and he's already in, so that's only 1 or 2 wardrobes. So I will only have to keep 1 or 2 sizes of different wardrobes. Does that make sense? So instead of having to backstock 5 different wardrobes, there will only be 2, which I have a thing where I only keep one bag per size, because I have learned that I am so fortunate and blessed that my family loves to buy the boys' clothes. And so I really only keep those items that I loved to watch my son wear. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I can't wait for Ranger to wear this. Those are the only types of clothes I keep. I don't keep everything with just the thought of, oh, well, he's going to need clothes. Because my reality is, no, my boys do not ever need what I call them filler clothes. Like, they're just clothes that like laundry day clothes. Like, I don't keep those. If I keep this item to just have for a backup, I don't do that, because I am so blessed that we are constantly receiving new items. And so if I am not in love with an item, I don't keep it.
Oh, look at you. Strong boy.
That was a long-winded explanation, but that's like one of the principles of minimalism, because a lot of minimalists wouldn't even keep a backlog of clothes. That's just how I grew up, though. My sister and I are 3 years apart, and I always had hand-me-downs. But I always had too many clothes, and I know that's like hashtag first world problems, but it was a really big deal to me, because I ended up getting overwhelmed. I never had a clean room, and just because my clothes were everywhere, because I was just overwhelmed. I just had too many options. And as it stands right now, I do believe we have too many clothes, but like I said, I think previously in this video, the whole laundry situation about not having a washer and dryer. So as soon as we are move into our house with washer and dryer, I want to establish a wardrobe for the boys that is no more than 1 week of clothing. And I want to get the Montessori like standalone closets that they can pick out their own clothes and only have 5 or 6 different outfits. Ultimately, that will be the goal for the whole family, to have a very more minimal wardrobe. Right now, we're just kind of playing it by survival mode, which, you know, isn't the best, but it's just the season of life that we are in. What else am I doing here? I think that even though before Ranger was born, or he had been born, but he was still in the hospital because he was a month and a half early, I had taken out all of the clothes and sorted them, and I guess I was so frantic, which it totally makes sense, but I was so frantic that the sorting process that I decided upon, I don't think I did it right. So I'm literally going through every article of clothing and checking the size, which can be very obnoxious, but you know, it is what it is. And then at this time, Conrad is right off screen folding the linens. So linens include anything that's not clothes. It's washcloths, blankets. I don't know if I was unaware that it was that genre was the genre. So that's why I over-explained. Oh, that was my favorite shirt. It says Mama Bear, and I found it under the bed. And it was clean. I was kind of like, what the heck? I didn't know this was there. Anyways, the way I have been organizing our closet is, you see those wonderful, they're shoe organizers technically. But because our closet is so large, it spans the entire wall. But it means that we don't really have the room for any sort of drawers, which is a little bit annoying. So everyone's shirts get hung up, and I'll tell you what, before I lived in this house, well, I guess my last 2 apartments, I hung up dresses. That was it. And now it's literally more than half of my wardrobe is hanging up. And honestly, we are moving, it's not an if, it is a when. When we move, I think I will continue to hang up my shirts. Which is weird for me to say out loud. I haven't said that out loud yet. Because of the way you can keep track of your clothes. So when you utilize a dresser for your shirts, even your t-shirts, your favorites end up on top or in front. So you don't really have access to your entire wardrobe of shirts. Like, you don't see everything. So this has really aided in me being more minimal, because you see all of your options, and I'm not exaggerating, every single time we do Conrad was giving me crap right. I think I asked him to check to see if it was still recording, and he was like, no, it stopped.
Oh, that was funny.
And I was just, oh my gosh, he's such a turd. Anyways, anytime we do, I call this a laundry reset, where we get a melt laundry and have to put a large majority of clothes away. The way I think about it is, if I have been rooting through the clean laundry instead of going and wearing the stuff that's currently hanging up in my closet, then it needs to be reconsidered as to whether I want it in my wardrobe. Because you know what I mean? Like, if I would rather root through a giant pile of clothes versus just grab a readily available, easy grab shirt, then do I still own it? And then, I was just making faces at my baby. And yeah, it's just, I'm transitioning my family from being a family with a baby to a family of 2 toddlers, which is really weird. It's really weird, guys. It's like, this has been my life for the last 2 years. It's been really hard, but realizing it's coming to a close is very bittersweet. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world, but man, am I looking forward to date nights with my husband again. We were just talking about this because it's his birthday. His birthday is on the 2nd of January. And his request was a date night with me. Like, he wanted to get rid of the kids and just be able to have some, adult conversations with me out in public and not have to be at home and be, and so this season of life is coming to a close, and the next season of life is coming, and it's exciting. It's bittersweet, but it's exciting. I will really feel it when we move. I know that, and honestly, it's coming up quick. So if you saw the title screen or whatever it's called, thumbnail, that is everything that I ended up removing from the apartment during these 2 days. And because we're going to move, there's going to be more decluttering, and I hope that I can take you guys along for the ride. Because my camera died, I did not end up getting an after shot, but I will tell you, I ended up vacuuming the floor. So when I vacuum, I have to remove everything from the floor. So everything you see on the screen was put away in a place, and it just, it was a lot of work, but I am very proud of myself. And I'm very proud of my husband. We even got into a tiff because he was like, I didn't want to spend all day doing this garbage. And I was like, neither did I. But it was just an evil necessity. We just, you know, it's one of those things. But, yeah, I think I'm going to cut the video short because this goes on for another 5 minutes at double time. And it's just like, I think you guys get the point. And I'm done with this video. I'm done with this voiceover. I've been talking for an hour and a half. Along the span of 3 days of trying to finish this voiceover. But I want you guys to know I am better than I deserve. I love my family. I'm looking forward to this new year. It's just going to be a positive year. There's a lot of changes in store for me. And I'm hoping that with good health, I will be able to put up more and more content for you guys every month. I'm striving to do 2 videos a week, but we'll see. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and God bless.